And if there are moments there where the stakes are high and the coach has pretty firm position on it's not about return to performance, I just simply need the player because we've got no one else in that position available, need him a week early, and how do you tackle that?
Yeah, I guess that comes back to what I was saying before about good bets versus bad bets. If we're looking to pull the trigger early, so to speak, what objective things do we have in the pros column that makes this thing a good bet? What makes it a bad bet? Where does it land? It's often a question that you get asked is, if this goes wrong, what are we looking at? So I try to answer that up front. If we take this on and it doesn't work out, re-injury, obviously, we're talking about there, what kind of time frame could we be looking at on the re-injury? And those things all go into the pros and cons of whether or not it becomes being something we want to take on and we think it's a good shot with minimal risk. If it goes wrong, they're going to be out for some injuries. You need to double the time frame that they're out after.
And the performance team, medical team thinks best that they'll do, and they can't make a decision themselves. They just want to do whatever you think, and you feel like they can return and it hasn't quite worked out due to whatever reason. Yeah, talk us through have you had an experience on that before?
Yeah, definitely. Some that has sprung to mind is where I've made errors in the past and I've learnt from them is, everyone wants a decision quickly for whatever reason. It might be to select the team. It might be something as simple as getting the jersey size right. The question that I now ask myself regularly off that is, what's more important, quick communication or accurate communication? For me, it's accurate communication. So in that situation that I'm thinking of, I should have held off on the time pressures that colleagues needed, let some water go under the bridge so that the answer became more clearer. And then I would have had a better answer to go forward with that decision. Everyone wants a decision on this now, but prioritising that accurate information over fast and timely information, for me, is more important.
What about externals or consultants, perhaps with recurrent injuries or any sort of problem that the organisation environment's going through? Are you for them bringing an external person in, or do you feel like it's something that needs to stick internal and it complicates things with more people involved?
I am a generalist and I certainly don't know everything about everything. I do have consultants here on the program. I think they're awesome. They're so good. The right consultant can be so valuable to your program. So they're here to help. They're here to support the full-time staff. They're here to support the athlete. As I've gotten older, I'm certainly acutely aware that no one knows everything. The more people that you talk to, the more insights that you gain. Gather all that information from as many experts that you feel is warranted, and then you bring it all back together. And then ultimately we make the decision. We can choose to go with the consultant's advice, or whatever the recommendation they might think, or you may not.
Yeah, anything that we haven't touched on this topic in terms of like integrating systems with medical performance, the processes that you have in place as a manager and leader?
And integrating the performance and medical stuff, we've alluded to it here. The softer skills and emotional intelligence is so important. Every person that you have employed is going to be different. Whilst you have systems and structures that you follow and a philosophy, every human is different. And the way that they operate and the way that they think needs to be managed, which is more important than sticking to the system and sticking to the structure. It's having them work within the system and work within the structure. Those are the ways that I integrate that performance and medical, because there's common traits to performance or strength and conditioning staff and medical staff across different practitioners, but the way that you integrate them in, those softer skills are just so valuable in being able to bring the best out of people.
On the emotional intelligence side of things, what have been some practices that you've built in that you've felt that have helped, I guess, build awareness and enhance your communication skills and decision-making on a daily basis?
So many good pieces of information out there that you can read to develop your capacity in EQ. Look, for me, I find that if I want to bring the best out of my staff, I've got to try to be the best version of myself every day. If I come into work where my energy is poor, people pick that up. Laws of osmosis, people will pick up negative energy. The way that I manage myself is really important. That's first and foremost. If I'm not coming in trying to be the best version of myself, how can I expect my staff or my players to come in and be the best version of myself? I need to be the best version and healthy version of myself so that the people around me are also going to be the best version and healthiest version of themselves.